Christina, thank you so much for joining us today. We want to introduce you to Property Source Radio, and thank you so much for joining us. We have to take a quick call, but then we're going to get right into the insurance with you. Thanks for being patient with us this morning when we've been working out our phone situation and talking about some other stuff that's important to us on the show, but we're so glad to have you. Thanks again for coming.
Good morning.
Do you have any good stories for Pat after we take our call?
Oh, sure.
All right, good.
Keep it. Remember it.
Do we have Francis DeWitt on the line? Good morning, Francis. Are you on the line? Okay.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Guess we don't have our phone problems worked out. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and talk with Christina about the insurance situation that's going on. My first question, if you don't mind, I have to go right out of the gate with what's important to me, because that's just kind of how I roll.
Mm-hmm.
The home office. Are you seeing a trend in the home office insurance in your industry for people working from home, running their businesses, a lot of computer equipment, things like that? Is that a trend you're seeing in the area?
Absolutely. With everyone getting laid off, Rochester is actually a great entrepreneurial community, and there's so many startup business here. It's amazing. And your homeowner's insurance covers you for all of your personal property. When you start receiving remuneration or money for anything that you are doing in your home, that's when you need a business in the home policy, which would cover you for everything, including your computers, your desk, your fax machine, your phones, anything that is a separate entity away from your home
living area.
See, now that's a great question. Thank you very much, Christina.
Sure.
And thanks for asking it, Brenna, because it's something that I didn't know. Now, I might be potentially doing something to make money out of my home, and I didn't know. So my equipment, Christina, will not be covered. Let's say I have a fax machine and a computer. It wouldn't be covered if I had an accident, like a fire or something.
Nope.
Okay.
Not when you're receiving remuneration. That's the difference.
Okay, when you're receiving. Okay. So that means we need an extra business policy. Good to know. I love that. I love that.
And that's something that you can sell through your State Farm agency?
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. With State Farm, we sell everything. Homeowners, we insure your roof and everything under it.
Okay.
So, anything you're going to pick up and move into your house, that's what we insure.
Okay.
Yourself, your couch.
Thanks for coming in today, by the way, Christina, because you're much better to look at than some of the guys that Brenna and I have in as guests.
I love
You're
it.
very sweet, Pat.
We got all the chicas in the house.
I'm a nice guy deep down. I'm really a nice guy. I don't care what anybody tells you, or Jeff.
Be careful, because he's going to try and showmance with you.
Yeah, that's right. We do showmances. It's
Brenna,
my turn. Go ahead.
What is showmance?
Showmance? Well, it's something we have set up here on Property Source Radio that, each week we bring in a guest, sometimes male, sometimes female, depending on what we are interested in that week. We determine who's going to have the showmance. And so what we do is we date our guests throughout the hour of the show, and then when the show's over, the showmance is over.
That sounds interesting.
Isn't that fun?
I won't forget your name, because that's my husband's name, Pat.
See, there you go.
Is it Patrick Michael?
And I like
It is Patrick Michael, actually.
Yeah,
It's
is it
a
really?
match made in
That's
heaven.
funny. Speaking of your husband, I like your ring, by the way. He did a good job, unless you bought it for yourself.
No.
That's a nice one.
He did it.
Careful you don't poke my eye out over here.
You'll lose it.
What kind of policy you got on that bad boy?
I tell you, State Farm has a personal articles policy. We call it a PAP, and it insures your ring for anything that could potentially happen to it. You look down, your diamond's gone, somebody steals it, you get caught in a car door. I've had to pay several different claims on rings where it's just unusual. One lady was making Thanksgiving dinner, and she decided to take off her rings and put them in a paper towel, which, that's fine, on the side of her sink. And her family and friends decided after dinner they were going to help her clean up. So some lady grabbed the paper towel, wiped up the countertop, and boom, it was in the garbage. She searched through the garbage. She couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, no.
So we paid her for her new ring, and she was, of course, very happy.
Yeah.
But it's hard to lose something so sentimental, something you've had since the day you got married.
Screw the sentimental value. If my wife loses her diamond, I'm going to vomit. I'm serious. That thing's not...
It might be taking it farther than the showman.
I say a prayer every night that she doesn't drop that diamond anywhere else. I would be sick.
I love it. We do have to take a call real quick from Frances. She's been trying to get a hold of us this morning, and we have a little bit of the piece of the show that we talk about sustainability. Myself, not necessarily Pat, but
Right.
there's some really cool things going on in our community on a sustainability level. So I hope you don't mind, Christina. We're going to take a call, and we're going to find out from Frances. Good morning, Frances.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I apologize for our difficulties getting you on the line, but we're glad that you called. I'm very excited to hear what you've got going on next Saturday. Can you tell us about it?
A really neat event. Nationwide in Northeast, there's an open house for green buildings, and that's all residential buildings, primarily residential buildings. The idea is they're green and that they have some sort of green component to them, whether it's passive solar, geothermal, solar thermal, solar electric, or wind. Nationwide, people are opening up their houses voluntarily to anyone who's interested in finding out what it's like to live green, and there's no charge to anybody.
So it's kind of like an open house for a home that's not for sale. People can come along and tour these homes and see the different sustainability projects that have happened. I saw on your flyer you have one that's an actual solar home tour.
Well, we have nationwide, it's called the Solar Home Tour.
Okay.
In the Northeast, we're calling it the Green Building. NESEA, which is the Northeast Sustainable Energy Association, is sponsoring this event that's been going on for 15 years. And they have kind of taken and run with it in the Northeast. And they're focusing on any green building component, not just solar.
So it's a good time to see all kinds of things, insulation, maybe different types of roofing, heating.
Or passive, geothermal. Some people have windmills up. Some people have their house built into the side of have an earth berm on one side. We have one house who has a total solar passive house so that they are facing the south, and then they get their heat that way in the winter.
Wow. Well, thank
Some
you.
really interesting technology out there.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Can you tell us, please, how we can find out what homes are going to be open in our area?
You can go to NESEA, which is N as in Northeast Sustainable Energy Association, NESEA.org, and then you can put in your zip code and find the houses that are open around your area, and then you can even get more detail about each house by and finding out exactly what features they have, so you can go to the houses that are more of interest to you.
Great. Well, thank
These
you so
homes
much.
are open from 10 to 4, and again, you're talking to the homeowner.
Right.
There's no better way to be educated on what it's like to live
Very cool.
sustainable.
I love
Some
it.
of these houses are totally off the grid.
Well,
It's a really, really fun, exciting time.
Thank you so much for calling in and giving us that information. I'm going to put that website right up on the Property Source Radio blog so people can go right there and check that out. Appreciate your call today. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
so much. Bye-bye. Pretty neat stuff. Would you find that in your business? People are doing a lot of, sustainability projects at home, increase the value of their home, Christina?
Absolutely. You know what's interesting is a lot of people are having staycations now. They're putting in their pools. They're developing their landscaping outside. It's so much nicer just to stay home. You don't have to pack your bags, although you could if you wanted to. You could
Get some
put a
bed
tent in the
bugs.
background if you wanted to.
Now, that reminds me now, Christina, I have a quick question. We do have another caller. We'll just put him on real briefly in a minute. But I want to ask Christina first. Pool. I put in a pool. Do I need some $1 million umbrella policy or $2 million policy coverage or something like that? You know what I mean?
Are you trying to discourage my pool thing again?
No. Since you're putting in the pool, I don't have to, right?
I think you should break off the showmance with him.
Well, your husband's gonna like me today, huh?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell him his insurance is going up when he puts in the pool.
Oh,
Do you
boy.
like your current lifestyle, Pat?
I do. I don't do anything.
Okay,
I
so
love
if
it.
somebody comes over to your house and hurts themselves, they can sue you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They can sue anyone for anything.
Yep.
So an umbrella policy protects you from going into financial ruin in the event that you are sued. So
Okay.
you have $1 million worth of coverage, or you could have $10 million worth of coverage if that's what you need. You just need to show your W-2s to prove that you are worth that much. You have that much value.